guys, and welcome to T&T Farm. My name's Tiffany, and as you can see, we're in the kitchen today. So we're going to be learning how to put up these little guys, fresh peaches. We're going to be freezing them in this process today, so I'm going to give you a list of things you're going to need and walk you through a step-by-step process. Stay tuned and enjoy. Okay guys, here's a detailed list of everything you're going to need. Of course, you're going to need peaches. This is one box. It was 18 pounds or roughly 35 peaches. If you're getting them off the trees on your farm, they're probably slightly smaller, or ours typically are here. This year we cannot do our own peaches. We had a really late freeze, so we lost them. So we will be doing Colorado peaches this year. Okay, you're going to want a large pot of water boiling, and as you can see, mine's almost there, but not quite. I also like to have 2 bowls and a slotted spoon handy. This is just nice to be able to remove the peaches out of the water. And then I like to have this one for the pits and peels, and the back one is where we put all of our peaches after we cut them up, which means you're going to need a cutting board and just a knife of your preference, whatever works easy in your hands. And then I like to have my sugar ready. We're going to start with 1 cup today. I think that'll be enough for these, but we'll see. And then also some fresh fruit preserver. This step is not necessary, but if you want to keep them from browning a little bit more, you're going to want to use some ascorbic acid of some kind. This is Mrs. Wage's. Ball makes one. There's different ones, and I'll put some links to these things on Amazon for you. And that's going to take a teaspoon of that, so we have our teaspoon ready. I like to have a large spoon to be able to stir up our peaches to get them to juice, which we will show you in a minute. And then the jar filler back here is not necessary, but it's nice to be able to put in the tops of your bags. Keeps the bag from getting juicy and sticky, because once you do this, you'll realize peaches are juicy, sticky, sugary things. It's lovely. Next, you want some Ziploc freezer bags. I prefer this, the double action protection ones that have the seal here. I do not like the zipper bags because I have found they leak. So this is my preference. You can use whatever you want, and then go ahead and label them for your peaches so you're ready to go. And then also I like to have a large flat cookie sheet as we're filling the bags, and then we're pressing the air out. It's nice to keep it flat. Also, the lip on the cookie sheet will help it from leaking in the fridge if something would leak. Plus it helps them to store flat so you can stack them later and transport them to the freezer too. And last thing you're going to need is an ice bath. I need to add a little more ice to mine here. Sanitize your sink and get your ice bath ready. You could also use a large bowl for this process. But there is everything you will need to enjoy fresh peaches all winter long. So let's get started. Okay guys, our water's boiling, we've got our peaches ready to go, and let's get started. Now the first thing, if you get to this step and you think these peaches just don't smell right, or if they're too firm, don't put them up. You're going to regret it. Let them sit on your counter for a few days, let them start to smell like a peach, and they're gonna get, if you can see, when you go to touch them, you want them to be able, see how that just is soft. If they're too firm, let me see if I've got one over here. Yeah, this one's pretty firm. See how you can't really push in on that? It's pretty firm in there. So if they're too firm, they're going to be hard when you freeze them. The sugar is not going to soften them up, and it's going to take a lot more sugar to even make them sweet. They're just not ready yet. So these, like I said, we got on Monday. It was just, you picked up your box, you didn't get a choice. These were really hard, so I put them out on the counter, and now it is actually Friday, and only half of the order was ready. 1 box is still sitting back. I kind of picked through and found the ones that were ready to go. So I hope that helps you out. Also, if they're too ripe yet, the skins are really hard to peel off, and you're just not going to be pleased with the results. So don't waste your money. Wait till they're ready to go. I was ready on Monday to put them up, but it didn't happen. Okay, so you're going to take your slotted spoon, lay your peach in, and just pop your peaches down in your water. Now I'm comfortable doing a large batch, but if you only work with 3 or 4 at a time, that's okay. So we're going to set the timer for 3 minutes and start that, and let these just kind of bubble up and get the skins loose. Okay guys, so our timer's just about ready to go off. Now you're going to want to test your peaches. I know when I've done off my peach trees before, the skins are a lot thinner and they're usually pretty ripe. So it may only take a minute, but you could go up to 3 minutes. If they're still not peeling well after 3 minutes, then peaches just might not be quite there. but the less ripe, they definitely will take a lot longer time. Okay, here we go. Our timer's ready. So I just like to have my lid here, flip it upside down, and I'm going to put my peaches right on top of here with my slotted spoon. Okay. This is a bigger load here, so these look like good peaches. And I'm just going to take them over here and gently put them down in my ice bath. Now what the ice bath does is it's going to just stop that cooking process, and it's going to help kind of shock the skin so they just peel off really nice and easy. We'll see how these peel. Some peel really easily. Sometimes they like to come off in bigger chunks, so we're going to see how these do here. Okay, we'll finish this up and I will bring you over to the sink and show you the next step in the process. Okay. All right, here we are in the next step of the process. I finished cooking all of my peaches on the stove in the blanching boiling water to get the skins off, and they have set in the ice bath. Don't feel like when you first get them out of that hot water and you throw them in the ice bath, you have to start peeling them like that. They're hot and they'll burn your hands. So if you get a hot peach, just throw it back in the sink and dig for a colder one that's been sitting there a little bit. It's not going to hurt them to sit in this water, okay? So we're ready to peel. Let's grab one here and we'll show you. I kind of just take my edge of my fingernail and pop that skin. You can see how easily that's coming off. Now if they're really ripe, almost the skins will just fall off in your hands when you go to peel them. Now this one's medium. Probably I'd say it's getting a little tougher over in here, but you can see when it's not quite as ripe, there's more skin on the, or more flesh on the skins, okay? See if we can find a riper one here. Here we go. Okay, now this one's a bit riper and you're gonna see, yeah, look at how easily that skin's just peeling off, and you can see the peach is a lot smoother. It hardly takes any flesh. So that's what you want them to look like, is like that, and that easily is coming off there. So that is a nice ripe peach. Now, when I've gotten them off my trees before, they might even be a little riper than that, and they'll almost fall off in your hands. Okay, so that's your peel. And you're just gonna, that's why I like to have this smaller bowl. I just throw my pits and my peels in here. So the next step you're going to do is take a sharp knife, and you're going, sorry, get up here so you can see. Just sink it in, and then just turn the peach all the way till you meet the other side. Stick your finger in and see how easily that came out of there? That is called a free stone peach, okay? Or stone free, different places call them different things, but it easily peels right out of there. You can take your finger, pop this out. So if you're planting trees, I would recommend the free stones, and usually you can ask your nursery or your local tree person and they are going to be able to tell you which ones to get. So that's how easy. You don't want your peaches overripe to where they're going to fall apart at this stage. It's so much easier to cut them up when they have a little bit of firmness to them. So I've got some done back over here. We'll peel. What I like to do is cut my peaches in about 1/4 inch, a little wider slices, but not a 1/2 inch. I think they're a little too thick for the freezer and they get kind of, I don't know. I just prefer them thinner, but not too thin to where they fall apart. So, you know, if you can see, here we go. Yes, I take my knife and cut towards myself. Sorry. If you prefer to use a cutting board, you can do that too. This is just how I do it. It's really simple when you get over your board. I do like to have a cutting board with a little bit of a lip on it, just so this juice is not running all over my countertops. So these are going to be good and juicy, but we are still going to add, like I said, you don't have to add all of the sugar to this, that 1 cup. It just depends on what your peaches are like. If they taste pretty good and sweet, and they're juicing up well to freeze well, then you're not going to need all that sugar, and that's okay. But at least I'm going to have it ready to go. Like I said, these, you can see the juices coming out of them, so they're nice and juicy. So I'm going to finish up filling this bowl here, and then I will show you how we add the sugar. I wanted to show you this as well. So when you go to peel them, hopefully you can see this. When you're cutting them up, don't think that there's something wrong with your peaches. This is just the layer that kind of cooked in that process of the boiling water when we go to scald them and get those skins off. So that's all that is, okay? Wanted to show you one of those. So pretty good bowl full here with that, I think there was 16 peaches in here. So that's about half of our batch. And I'm gonna mix these up here. Just wanted to show you what to do next. Sorry, our mower is loud outside. You can really hear it. Okay, so I have my 1 cup of sugar prepared in here. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is just take a teaspoon of this Fruit Fresh, and this just helps keep it from browning. Okay, I'm just going to sprinkle that in there, give this sugar a stir, kind of mix that in. Like I said, it's not going to take all of this for this. I can tell they're really juicy, but what you want to do is let them get a good juice on, because that moisture is what's going to keep them kind of in that liquid in your freezer so they don't freezer burn, and it makes them really nice. Okay, so let me get my big spoon here. So you can kind of see there's already some syrupy, that's just the peaches itself. Can you see that liquid down in there coming to the bottom? So these are really good. We're just going to add a little bit of the sugar, kind of sprinkle it over the top, and I don't ever just add it all in, even if I did have a bigger batch, because you could get them really too sweet. So we're going to mix this sugar in, about 1/2 cup, maybe a little less, probably about 1/4 cup on that first run. You can already see the juices starting to form in those peaches from that. Okay, and my kids love to drink the juice water out of the bottom of their bowls after we eat these frozen peaches, so that's always good. All right, I'm going to add about another 1/4 cup in on top here and mix that in. And then the next step, what I'm going to do is let this sit for about 5 minutes on my countertop just to really get the juices out of that fruit, and then we're going to bag them. So while I'm doing that, letting this sit. I'm going to go ahead and finish peeling and pitting the rest of my peaches, so I'll be ready for my second batch, and we'll show you the rest of this. So I'm going to show you what these look like now. There we go. So pretty juicy, good full bowl, but we'll look at this here. Can you kind of see the juices running a little bit, but after that 5 minutes, we're gonna check on these and see how they are and give them a taste too. Okay guys, here we are back after 5 minutes. I finished peeling, or I should say peeling, but not pitting my peaches. So that took me about 5 minutes to do 15 peaches. So by the time you did the pitting as well, it'd probably take you 15 minutes total to do a 18-pound box or 35 peaches. So as you can see here, the juice has really come up to the top. Can you see all that juicy goodness in there? See how it runs in on the spoon? So that's how you want them to look. So we're going to give them a little taste and see how we did on sugar. They're good, but we're going to add just a little bit more in here. Going to stir in that last little bit of sugar, and then we're going to show you this bagging process. Now, like I said before, I like to use the freezer bags that are not the zipper, but they actually are the pinch and seal ones. I have found that the other ones can leak, so this is the variety I like. I like the Ziploc the best. So that's good and juicy. Can you hear that? It's kind of like soup. All right. I also like to have all my bags opened up before I get to this process because it's going to get a little sticky. So have them opened, ready to go. And you don't have to have the jar filler, but this is a handy little tool. I'll put a link for this below. Just going to put that down in there. It'll keep the edges of this zipper part clean so it gets a good seal for you. Okay, so I like to put anywhere from 3 to 4 cups. I have a family of 6, but not everybody in my family prefers frozen peaches. They only like fresh. So, but the ones that do like it are all my boys. So they can eat a lot. Amen to any of you that have boys, and especially I have a teenager right now. He can eat like nobody's business. Okay, so you always want to get some juice in there. Let's go 3.5 cups. So it doesn't have to be exact, y'all. This is just supposed to be fun. Okay, then what I like to do, let's get this out of the way so you can see how we do this. Take your jar filler, set it aside. Don't put it in the bowl because otherwise you're going to get all the juices up and on your funnel. So just set it off to the side. Wipe my hands a little here. It's nice to always have a clean rag or something so you can get the stickies off. So partly zip your baggie. Leave, maybe 2 inches on the end. Lay your bag flat. And you're going to, here, I might have to do it on the next one. I'll show you the air coming out of it. So you're going to squeeze as much of that air out as you can without getting that liquid in your seal. Okay, so see how nice and flat that is there. Now, this is why I like to have my cookie sheet, because I can lay these on here if there's any drippage or any leakage, like I said, I haven't had that problem with the Ziplocs, but the cookie sheet's going to catch it and not make a complete mess in your freezer. Also, it helps them to freeze flat. Like if you have racks or lines in your freezer, that can freeze on the bottom of these. So this just keeps them nice and flat. And after they've frozen, we can stack them up and put them in a box in the deep, like a chest freezer. And you can pull them out that way. It saves on room. So also, it's easier to transport a bunch of bags if you're doing a lot of large batches to get these in and out of the freezer instead of trying to handle all these soupy bags of peaches. Okay, so let's do another one here, and then I will finish all of these up. Like I said, I did half a batch and worked in a half batch just because that fits in my bowl easier. If you have a ginormous bowl, you could do it all at once, but I don't. Okay. Come on, peaches. There's 2. Get them down in there. Flat bottom bags might work well too, but I haven't found those in the Ziploc ones. There's 3, and we're going to do about a half of a cup. There we go. Okay, I'll be quiet this time so you can hopefully hear the air come out of this bag. Put that off to the side, wipe my hands. Okay, here we go. I'm going to squeeze part out of the bag. And then listen. Did you hear that? That's just the air coming out of there. And getting the air out is going to help them to keep from freezer burning as well. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and finish this process up, and I'll let you know how many bags we have when we're done. Okay guys, so here we have our almost finished product. Of course, this isn't frozen yet, but this is going to let you know how much it yields. Out of an 18-pound box of peaches, or roughly 35 medium to large size peaches, we got 7 quart bags of 3.5 to 4 cups each. I have a family of 6, so this works for us well, but if you have a smaller family, of course, you could go 2 cups and you get 14 bags that you could enjoy all winter long. So I'm going to pop these in my freezer, and then I will show you tomorrow what they look like coming out and how we like to defrost them to eat them and enjoy them. Hi guys, here we are a few days later, and I'm going to show you the finished product. As you can see, here's our sheet of peaches that we carried down. Yes, there is one bag missing. My kids already ate one, but you can see these are good and solid. They froze flat. So how we like to store them in our freezer is just stack them upright like this. Like I said, you can store them like little books, and then you can pull them out as you need them. Now, it's almost lunchtime here, and how we like to defrost them, you could do it in the refrigerator overnight if you wanted to, but I never think that far ahead in advance. So what I do is have a hot bowl of water that I fill up as I'm getting my lunch ready, and you can see one in here. I just leave this sitting here, and every now and then I'll come over and turn it. It still leaves the peaches just a little icy, which is the way we prefer to eat them. I'll show you that shot in a minute. All right, here we have our finished product. We're going to take it out. I just like to have a dry towel here. Just kind of set your peaches down in like so. Dry it off. And then we have our clean bowl that's ready to go for lunchtime here. Okay, you can open this up. Just pour these in. Oh, look at that ooey gooey goodness. So remember, this is our 4-cup bag here. All right. And you can kind of hear that iciness in there. That's how we kind of like to have them. So there's still some syrupy, softer ones on your outside, but there's that. Ooh, it makes it kind of like a nice little treat. So let's give these a try, and then we're going to eat some lunch. So good. All right, guys. There you have some nice fresh peaches. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see more, click the subscribe button down below or give us a like and thumbs up. Thanks for watching TNT Farm. Until next time.